Brazil, Michel Temer has been arrested on charges of corruption. The 78-year-old has been detained in connection.
L'accusa di corruzione in atti giudiziari è falsa.
Found guilty of corruption.
Scale of corruption alleged herein.
Condenado por corrupção.
Corruption.
Corruption.
Facade.
Corruption.
Our next story is about corruption. This is a global problem. It plagues a number of countries, but some more than others.
Corruption has been a long-standing issue faced by many countries in the world that corrodes the economy, politics, and society. Using the principal-agent model and the institutional framework, it can be defined as a political and economic issue that happens when institutions that are meant to uphold the rule of law allow public officials, agents, to use their power for personal benefit, instead of acting in the interest of the public. Principles, weakening and undermining the institution's effectiveness. There have been many instances where corrupt acts have been exposed to the public eye, but right now we'll talk about one of the largest corruption scandals documented in Latin America's history. The Odebrecht case exposed a massive bribery scheme across Latin America. It was uncovered by an investigation conducted on the state-owned oil company Petrobras in the operation known as Car Wash in Brazil, in which various businesses, including Odebrecht, paid bribes in exchange for contracts. This company is a Brazilian construction firm, and it paid off politicians, government officials, and executives in exchange for securing billion-dollar contracts for public infrastructure projects. This wasn't random corruption. It was an organized system where bribes were funneled through a secret department within the company, which had the sole purpose of hiding bribes from authorities. Governments awarded projects, and officials ensured that Odebrecht received favorable terms in renegotiations, taking taxpayer money into their pockets. This network of corruption spanned at least 12 countries, distorting economies and undermining public trust. The US and Brazilian investigators uncovered the scheme, revealing how corruption was embedded at the highest levels of power. The scandal exposed a system where corruption wasn't just an exception, it was the cost of doing business. Of 193 contracts awarded to Odebrecht, 134 of them were won by bribing officials, which means that almost 70% of Odebrecht's total contracts were given unfairly. Also, the company spent approximately $637 million just in bribes. And well, corrupt environments in an industry like this can make ethical business unable to compete with companies like Odebrecht, driving them out of the market and affecting the economies of several countries. In addition to winning the contracts, the bribes were used to get better terms in renegotiations, inflating the cost of many of the projects. One could think that increased costs in renegotiations are normal in the construction industry. However, a paper by Bajari, Houghton, and Tedelis that examined 819 highway procurement contracts in California found that the price was, on average, 5.8% higher. In contrast, most countries that enter into agreements with Odebrecht show an increase of 16 to 18% over the original cost, almost 3 times what the authors found in the research. And these increases add up to a total of $27.7 billion. Odebrecht being investigated by the authorities led to any infrastructure projects funded by them being suspended or cancelled, and leaving us with the question, where did all that money go? The government cannot fight corruption alone. Everyone's participation is necessary, and there are several different ways in which we can achieve this. You can start by staying informed. Understanding how corruption works is a crucial step in the journey to stop it. Read, watch, and listen, as this will prevent you from being blind to the decay around you. You must lead by example. Refuse to participate in acts of corruption, like offering bribes to cops when they stop you, or paying teachers to get a passing grade to avoid failing. When we choose integrity, we set a standard for the people around us and inspire them to act with honesty. Finally, we need to be united. Use social media to spread awareness about what is happening in your community. Join protests to force our institutions to take action and hold our public officials responsible for their misdeeds. When we come together, we become an unstoppable force. Together, we can create a culture that refuses to accept corruption as a way of life. Change begins with us.